It's the Blitz. You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. I recommend you find a device. Watch us live. You can go to ESPNSA.com or Facebook feed or Twitter, our YouTube feed, wherever you are. Find it. Because when you look on there, you'll see four, decent-looking dudes, I guess. I'd like to welcome on the show a couple comedians, actors that are coming to San Antonio. We're excited about this. We've got Dan Ahdoot, Anush. You know him from Cobra Kia. He's sitting up on the bottom right-hand side there. No, top right, excuse me. And Bret Ernst joining us. Cousin Louie, if you remember him, is joining us. And I'm very curious if Cousin Louie is going to get hired back to the car dealership, but we'll get there. They're coming to San Antonio here on June the 13th. They're going to be at the LOL, but you got them right here, right now. Gentlemen, welcome aboard, man. We're excited to have you come down to our part of the world.
Hey, thanks for having us, man.
When I see you guys joining us, and you're kind of leading with your Cobra Kindness, that's the most recent thing we've seen a lot of both of you guys in. But man, you guys are busy working actors in today's world. When you travel and you work together, you guys don't stand up together. You guys are just a pair, and you go to different places, right? You don't perform together, do you?
No, typically I would. I would typically do stand up, in LA, and Bret would tour around a lot more. And we started doing this show together because we knew a lot of people were watching Cobra Kai. And there's so basically I'll do a bunch of stand up, he'll do a bunch of stand up, and then we come out together and we basically just rip on each other for half an hour, and people love it.
Well, really, really quick though, it started as a Q&A, and then it just ended up on me and him ripping each other. So that's just so we went with that.
Did you guys work together prior to Cobra Kai?
Well, we knew of each other, but we had never really worked together. I mean, that was actually the first time we had met. So it was a little, like I said, we knew each other around town, but no, I guess not.
Absolutely. That's Bret Ernst. That's Bret Ernst. You know him as Cousin Louie and many, many other things. They're going to be in San Antonio on the 13th out at the LOL, a great venue, a great time. Make sure you're getting your tickets at LOL.com. Okay, gentlemen, as you arrive, I'm curious, have you been to San Antonio before?
I have, yes. I performed there a bunch of times already.
Have you ventured out from your hotel room? Sometimes comedians know the way to the venue and that's it. Have you hit the river or done anything in San Antonio?
Never hit the river, but definitely hit the nightlife in San Antonio a bunch of times.
So. We're excited to have you here in town. When you come to a specific city, do you alter your set at all, or are you going to bring in anything Texan for us that kind of, are you just bringing what you got and it's funny enough because it always is?
I mean, I think that it's going to be funny no matter what. It's more like the dynamic that Bret and I are in the show as Cousin Louie and Anush is basically the exact same person that we are in real life. I'm probably a little more highbrow, and Bret is, a disgusting human being. So
let's just look at our backdrop. Should be enough. I mean, what do you got back there? Food? I got the Cowboy. By the way, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, as you can see.
Dude, you are in down here. You are set up, man. You better be closing this thing down.
And I didn't want you guys to think it was gratuitous, but I actually have a podcast on Blogging the Boys Network for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. It's called Jersey Boys.
I know. That's you?
My brother. Yeah.
All right. We work very closely with the chief editor, RJ Ochoa, Blogging the Boys. I'm very familiar with your work, man. Bret is joining us. He's coming to San Antonio along with Dan. They're going to be here on the 13th, just a couple of days at the LOL. Get your tickets now. It's going to sell out, so you want to make sure you're in the building.
Guys, when y'all started Cobra Kai on this Netflix special that was kind of revamping a very 80s type movie and kind of giving it new life, did you have any idea it would spin into kind of the stratosphere that it's become in terms of pop culture currently?
I mean, I'm gonna correct you a little bit that the initial version of the show wasn't even on Netflix. It was on YouTube.
Right.
YouTube Red. And it was very frustrating for us because we knew there was this amazing show out there, and we'd been doing it for 2 years. And no one was watching it. And we'd tell our friends, we'd be like, guys, there's this amazing show you got to watch. They're like, great, where do we watch it? We're like, okay, you got to go on YouTube, get a password, a login. They're like, nah, screw that. We're not doing that.
Well,
What's even worse is they're like YouTube Red, and people started going to RedTube.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is, Brett, and I'm not going to confirm or deny that I've ever been there. We are joined by Dan Ahdoot, Bret Ernst. They're coming to San Antonio. Stand-ups and actors, find both of them. Now, when you first got involved with Cobra Kai and you got involved with all the OG guys that were doing it back in the 80s, did you have any idea what Cobra Kai was? I mean, was it something that, or the Karate Kid or any of this stuff? Have you ever seen any of it before?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, I was a kid in the 80s, and that movie, you know, with Mrs. LaRusso and Daniel, that was kind of like my mom. We were from Jersey. We moved to Florida. You know, my mom, there was a lot of similarities there. I mean, at least for me. And also, it's part of my childhood. Dan will tell this story better than me, but when we first went on set and the two matched up, we were staring at each other, right, Dan? Tell me what happened.
It was our first day of work ever. And by the way, I'm as much of a super fan. Like it was my identity growing up, you know, like I was the wimpy kid who would get his ass kicked all the time. So this was like,
and now he's a wimpy man. Now he's a wimpy man that gets his ass kicked all the time. That's why we're. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I am the wimpy man who can afford pepper spray now.
There you go.
So there you go. Anyway, our first day of work is always a little awkward on any acting job because you're just getting to know everyone, the directors, the writers, this and that. Imagine your first day of a show, and the first scene is when the two of them are meeting for the first time, you know, since 30 years ago. It was so surreal, and Bret and I were just looking at each other like, how am I going to act in this scene? I'm like, 5-year-old me is losing his mind inside that I'm actually standing next to these guys. I'm
curious, as far as just the karate goes, can Ralph do this stuff, or is that all stunt double stuff?
Well, no, Ralph does it himself.
He does it?
And Billy's an actual black belt.
Well, I'd heard that he was capable. I just, looking at Ralph, I just never figured that was anything other than a couple of stretches and, okay, next guy come in.
Well, he does his own stuff.
Okay,
man.
cool.
He really does.
You see that because I'm the age of Ralph. I couldn't do that. I mean, Billy, those guys, that was 30 years ago. The idea that you want me to high kick, dude, you'd have to have the by craft services. You have to have an ambulance because I'd have to be strapped up. They're coming to San Antonio.
A hamstring and a scene.
Absolutely. They're coming to SA. It'll be June the 13th at the LOL Comedy Club. The tickets are moving. If you want to go right now to pick them up.
I got a question.
We only got that one night. So that's Sunday night. So if you can't, get down there. Go ahead. I'm sorry, James. What?
I got a question for you, Dan. I see that you have the #1 food podcast in America, and I know it's the Food Pictures hanging up behind you. What is it that drew you into starting a food podcast?
I love food. I spend way too much time thinking about food. As much time as Bret thinks about the Cowboys, I'm thinking about soufflés. Okay? So for me, I was like, there's no comedy food podcast out there. I'm going to try to mix these two worlds together because everyone's got a relationship to food. And actually, one of the funniest nights that Bret and I had in Georgia, because we shoot the show in Atlanta, right, and we would go to dinner together every night. And he'd pick a restaurant one night, and I'd pick a restaurant one night. And one night, we'd go to one of my bougie foodie restaurants. And then another night, we'd go to like one of his Italian former mob boss friends who has like a steakhouse.
Stop, man. Stop with that, dude. Stop with that, all right?
So it just turned into, I was like, man, these conversations are so fun. Let's turn it into a podcast. And actually, one of the most downloaded episodes is the one where Bret is a guest on it. And it's very, very fun to talk about food, in my opinion. So I made a little bit of a career.
Just so you know, really quick, just so you know the type of guy you're talking to, I took him to an amazing strip club, and he's ordering wine at the bar. He's asking, I swear on everything, the bartender, what was it? What did you ask for? I don't even know what it was called.
Well, I had a Chianti with dinner, and I was wondering if they had any Italian wines. If they had a Chianti, for example, maybe a Barolo.
It was a Barolo.
Man, I
He's like, you guys got Barolo? I'm
Yeah,
like,
she's
dude,
off tonight.
You're lucky if they got Boomstrong.
The Barolo, she ain't gonna be until later, man.
Well, you got to be careful because in Atlanta, you don't know what you're going to find. I hear the best wings happen to be at a place like that.
Lemon Pepper Lou. When we go out on Sunday night, we're headed over to the LOL. We got two great comedians coming into town, and man, we have been cooped up for so long. We all need to head out and have some fun, and we got a good one coming. It's 13th at LOL. Dan, Bret, man, we want to thank you so much for stopping by. We're excited to see you. I'll come by and say howdy during the set. We're excited about having you in town. Again, LOL, Sunday night. Go check out the Cobra Kia guys, and that's so much more than that. Man, y'all are awesome. Thanks for stopping by.
And go Cowboys. Go Cowboys.
Oh, yes. Bring that up. You'll get to do a second set. Those guys are going to be here on Sunday.
All your drinks will be paid for.
Somebody will pay for them, maybe me. But thanks for stopping by, guys. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Thanks, man.